Good evening, darlings, and welcome to another episode of Getting to Know Your Officers. I'm Vane Palazzo. I'm the guild leader for Final Fantasy XIV, and with us we have Mugetsu, Exitium. Hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Ready for some questions?
I totally am.
Your fans want to know all about you. So, first, tell me, how long have you been in rough trade, and how long have you been an officer?
Well, I've been in rough trade since I want to think 2014
Mm-hmm.
to yeah, I've been because I joined rough trade at the same time that I joined Taint,
Mm-hmm.
so it was just all in one go.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been an officer almost a year now, I think,
Mm-hmm. Nice.
and time sure flies.
It does. So, in the year that you've done this as an officer, what do you think what are the responsibilities really, just for people to know about it?
Well, not only is there the event occasional having to be the bad guy that we don't like having to do, but we do a lot of event planning. We do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people come to us for some counseling, just going, "Hey, I'm having some issues. Can I vent?" And we're here as a soundboard for anyone with issues. We try and resolve any conflicts within the FC itself. Um, we also try to deal with any external problems within the game as well. Um, we we are the barrier between the negativity and making sure that Taint itself is a place where everyone is welcome and happy.
Right. Definitely, I agree with you. And it's a lot of work. So I asked all of the officers this question: how many messages do you think that we go through per day for the guild?
Oh God. um, I think on a good day we only get about 10.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say an average day is 20 to 30.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a simple question of, hey, when the buffs are down, or
Mm-hmm.
hey, my friend wants an invite. It varies all over the board.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes up to like scheduling an event, how long does it usually take for us to create something like that?
Uh, Months.
Yeah.
We put months of planning into every single event that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
We always try and keep 2 steps ahead of the game for any prizes.
Yeah.
We try like the best of the best is available that we can possibly provide.
Right. Right. Exactly. And yeah, I know because our internal communication is so much more extensive than some of the questions that we get. Because a lot of the time, what we end up doing is you know getting a question and then spending like 50, 60 messages back and forth debating every single aspect of it. And I would you say
And we did.
that's
We're
what's that? What's that?
sorry. What was that? I went. I said we debate it until we're blue in the face.
Yeah, yes, we do. We really do. We take devil's advocate on every single thing, and that's what's great about my officers is that they will argue with me until I just give up. So well done, great job.
We got to make sure every angle is covered.
That's true. In terms of like rough trade or Final Fantasy 14 or whatnot, what do you think is your greatest accomplishment? It can be events, it can be guild, it can be chats, it can be internal, external, anything really.
Well, I can think of a couple instances. Has to do with some specific individuals. They were
Mm-hmm.
having a rough time. They had just gotten diagnosed with some mental um, problems that came up, and they were unsure of how to go from that point. Like they had the start, but they were like, oh my god, this is horrible, my life sucks. And just being able to go, hey, no, like taking the 10 seconds to go, I need help, and then actually going and doing it is huge.
Yeah.
And the positive feedback from helping someone pick themselves off the floor is without a doubt one of the best feelings. It's indescribable how good that feels to know that you made someone go, hey, I'm
Yeah.
doing pretty.
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree with you. Um, of all the, getting on a little more fun topic, of all the Final Fantasies, well, how many Final Fantasies have you played first off?
Uh, all of them but Tactics 2 and Chocobo Dungeon.
Wow. Okay, so you're very knowledgeable in this. So my question to you is, which Final Fantasy character have you felt most in tune with?
Hmm, that is actually a really hard question. um, oh gosh. Honestly, I can't come up with a solid answer.
Yeah.
There's little bits of multiple characters that I've been able to relate to, but not a specific one.
Um,
Um,
who could you relate with?
uh, well, growing up in the rather conservative prairies, I related to Red 13 from Seven for feeling like a freak,
Right.
for no better way to put it. But in just for personal development wise, discovering and growing confident in who I am, a Cloud, honestly.
Yeah.
At the tail end there, when he goes, "Hey, this is who I am. Take it or leave it."
Mm-hmm.
I really related to that tiny piece of him. The
Yeah.
rest of it, not so much, but
Wow. Well, that's awesome, actually. That's really awesome. Uh, so in Final Fantasy 14, doesn't have to be someone relatable, but who would you say is your favorite character in 14?
14.
Mm-hmm.
I know who I hate.
Who do you hate?
uh, Limsa's leader. Her voice. I can't do it. I can't. Character wise, that I've come to really like, Kryle.
Kryle. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What do you like about Kryle?
She's very knowledgeable. She knows what she knows. She's ready to admit what she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And he's one of the first to go, let's figure this out. And I've
Yeah,
always really appreciated that.
definitely. Definitely. Doesn't seem like a know-it-all at all, but still has a lot of knowledge considering the background. I mean, I won't get into the spoilers because I don't know who's watching this, but you know, so yeah, so Kryle, that's a definite character to look out for then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of all the Final Fantasies that you've played, because there's a lot of them, what do you think is your favorite Final Fantasy piece of music?
Uh, it's kind of tied between three of them actually.
Okay.
There's Roses of May from Final Fantasy IX.
Mm-hmm.
There is uh, Decisive Battle from Final Fantasy VI, as well as Battle on the Big Bridge from Final Fantasy V.
Oh wow. They're all very epic songs, really. And
Mm-hmm.
the May.
Oh,
Oh,
when they brought out the one for Battle of the Big Bridge in 14, I was beyond excited.
did you like that there were two versions when going into the keep?
Yes.
Yeah. Like I didn't even realize that there were two versions going on until, yeah. Won't get into spoilers, but that one's worth it for anyone who loves Final Fantasy V.
Yeah. So, and if anyone's not done the Hildebrand storyline, do it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I agree. In terms of, let's say, of all the Final Fantasy games that you've played, you mentioned Cloud as someone that you relate to, and Red 13. Would you say the Final Fantasy VII is your favorite?
No.
Which one is?
Uh, Honestly, Final Fantasy V.
Five. You know, I had a chance to just recently replay that because it was on, it was like 50% off on Steam, and my God, that was a really good game. Like, that was a
Oh,
really
and
fun.
the diversity of your team is unparalleled by any other Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things I really enjoy about it because I can go in with a different party and different setup every
Hmm.
single time.
Yes.
And there's only one part in the story that I'm like, dragging my feet about. And the rest of it, I love it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I couldn't stop but laugh at X Death because, you know, for people who haven't played 5, but they've, you know, gone through the stuff in 14, um, he was a really funny character. Like he wasn't really designed to be funny, but he had so many stupid lines like "Mwahaha, I disguise myself as a tiny splinter." Like, you know, just stupid crap like that. Like, why? What is this?
Honestly, the writing in 5, I find to be the funniest out of
Yeah,
all the Final Fantasy.
I agree. It feels like
There's
a parody.
part where the main character is like, "Yar har har, I'm a pirate," out of nowhere, and it's just I giggled. I giggled on transit, and people looked at me funny when I hit that
Hmm.
part.
I concur. I concur with that one. So, speaking of jobs, that because Final Fantasy V was just full of them, and the new one
Hmm.
has a couple new jobs. I think it's like 3 or 4 more. But you know, of all the jobs that are not in Final Fantasy 14 right now, which one do you want the most?
Blue Mage.
Blue Mage.
Blue Mage. Every single Final Fantasy, I've always had the whether it's a specific character that's the Blue Mage, or if it's a specific setup that's the Blue Mage. Like in 9, it's Quina. In 8, it's Quistis with her limits. I just they're so handy. Like
Yes.
big guard. Oh my god.
Now, the question is, if they were going to do Blue Mage, would you want it as a tank, a DPS, or a healer?
Healer.
Healer?
If anything, I've always used the Blue Mage skills for support,
Mm-hmm.
like the healing, the damage negation, the reviving, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. Yeah, for sure. Um, what kind of changes would you like to see in the guild upcoming for 2018?
I still see a lot of solidarity within a lot of members.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see more people stepping up and helping all the new people that we're getting.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
I
we're
try
getting a
and help
lot.
as much. We've gotten a lot since the servers opened up, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Um, and I try and help where I can. Most certainly, like earlier today, I was helping Jessica open up the Crystal Tower trilogy.
Yeah.
Incredible, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there's some people that are probably going to watch this and go, "Oh, well, I help all the time." Thank you. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you. But those that kind of hide in the corner, hey, step up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, what's the worst going to happen? You're going to make the FC look better.
Mm-hmm. And and that was one of
um,
our big topics in the Pay It Forward program is just, you know, if you give out an extra half hour of your own time for
mhm.
other people, that dynamic changes in the community and you start seeing that more. If somebody else sees that, they're going to mimic that too. and more people that are interested in getting involved with things. It's just that would be such a great experience because we've had it before. It's not even like this is a what if sort of deal. This is we had this back in 2017 at the beginning, and that was really successful. Like we got a lot of brand new players who took all the way up, and some of them are raiders now. So
Yeah, and to everyone that has helped, thank you.
yeah,
Like
yeah, for
it
sure.
does make a difference. Thank you.
Yes, it really does. It makes this community so much better just to be able to have that extra person and be able to do it. All right, let's see. Let's move on with some of these other questions that we got here. Um, what was your favorite raid? Or no, let's say dungeon trial or raid. We'll go with any of them. And why?
Uh, Thordan. It's got to
Thornton?
be Thordan.
Thornton was a really good one. Thornton was like a shock. I don't know why it was a shock, but it was just like wow of all the things.
I I used to progressive raid in Star Wars: The Old Republic,
Hmm.
and like just the mechanics for those raids in that game was
Yeah.
so complex,
Yes.
and I love complexity. And
Hmm.
when they brought in Thordan, and you had to do this while trying to do this while watching for this, I was like, yes, this is what I want.
Hmm.
This is this is the rating I love.
Yeah.
And that still, even with all the new content, is Omega aside because I was like, ah, because it's all Final Fantasy V based.
Uh huh.
Um, that that's my favorite.
Yeah. Um, have you played Omega 3 Savage yet?
No, I haven't because of my fluctuating work schedule. I haven't
Hmm.
had a chance to do any of the.
It's
Um,
I
I make just past like one.
Yeah, I think that if you ever get a chance to be able to do so, that is intense. Like if you love the old Star Wars stuff, because I used to I created the whole raid queue thing for Taint's Star Wars deal way back when I was a part of Star Wars and whatnot, and I know what you're talking about, like that the whole complexity, the sort of mechanics, so like
Um,
all over the place sort of craziness that gets involved with that.
Terror from Beyond. Oh, sorry, I had a reminiscing moment of when the game was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of, well, obviously you mentioned that you were in Star Wars: The Old Republic. What other MMOs have you played?
I played and tried a lot. Blade and Soul, Black Desert Online, Global Rohan, The Blood Feud. I played that one for years. Uh, there was Legendary Champions, Grand Fantasia, uh, Vindicus? Vindictus?
Hmm.
Yeah, Vindictus. I played that one for a little bit. I've been all over the place.
Nice, very nice. Let's see. What other questions do we got from all these people? Do you have any Final Fantasy merchandise or collectibles?
I had not a whole lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, I'm more of a game collector than a merchandise collector.
Mm-hmm.
The closest thing I have, where did I put it? Probably my favorite
Mm-hmm.
would be this one.
Oh, nice. Final Fantasy 8. I like it.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Other than that, all I have is the Advent Children Special Deluxe Collector's Edition.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, Advent Children was really good. Like, because, I mean, we had that movie beforehand. The It Shall Not Be Named. The the old Hawaiian-based company that decided to do that whole dream is only, always the same. I won't even mention the movie name anymore. It was just so bad, and it was such a refreshing experience to be able to get into Advent Children, where it was just like, holy crap, these characters are coming to life. I think it was the best, even compared to Kingsglaive. Like, Advent Children was by far the
I
best.
watched it, and I was left with the same questions I had when I went through the game.
Yes. 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 Thank you. Because like I just didn't.
There's too many plot openings and unexplained occurrences,
Mm-hmm.
and I did most of the side content as well in
Mm-hmm.
15.
There were
Uh,
loopholes. There were loopholes.
yeah, even with that big patch that they did to fix them with some of the cinematics.
Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, I have not played those. I know people keep on telling me I need to do it. I haven't even played episode Gladio. Like, and I bought
Uh,
the Season
I haven't
Pass.
I haven't picked it up since September.
Yeah.
I have no want to play it anymore.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like it was very difficult because you it was almost like they gave
That
you a part of the game and then they're like, we'll fill in the rest
oh,
later.
well, that's just it. It's like,
Yeah.
where's the rest of it?
Right. I saw the beginning, I saw the end. I don't really care about the middle anymore. Like, eh. I mean, eh. But yeah, I know. So let's see. What other questions do people have for us? Da, 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 da. What is your favorite thing about Final Fantasy 14? And then I'm going to ask you after what you worst thing about Final Fantasy 14.
The PVE content is incredible,
Yeah,
through and through. It's why I keep playing.
yeah,
The PVE content is out of this world.
yeah, for sure.
That's
What would you say is the worst?
the PvP.
Yeah, yeah, PvP. You know
I
what? I used to love PvP in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Like that was really good, and it's so challenging because it's like, oh, it could be Hutball. It could be Hutball, but it's not.
Well, and if you look up the other MMOs that I played, they're all PvP heavy.
Yeah.
Like Rohan, you were in a PvP zone. Period. Permanent.
Hmm.
You as soon as you pass level 30, when you're out trying to level, you can have someone roll up and wipe out your whole team.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So let's talk about like you as a person. Get off the Final Fantasy thing. What kind of like movies do you like? What are your favorite movies? Genre or any specific ones?
I love action and I love comedy.
Action and comedy? Is there any like genre of comedy? Like do you like 80s stuff? Do you like the new stuff? Like I guess 90s are kind of a category maybe, but
To sum it up, my absolute favorite movie is Kung Fu Hustle.
hmm. Yes, I love that. I have watched that movie so
It,
many times.
and the critics explain it perfectly. It's Mortal Kombat meets the Looney Tunes.
Yes. Yes.
I,
Like I mean it's so phenomenal to watch that movie because it's like it's and they don't even have an English dub from what I know.
no, they do.
They do. Oh, they do.
Yeah, yes, they do.
Oh, okay.
And I found the English. Well, I've watched it in the Mandarin as well as English, and I love both because the script is slightly different,
Yeah.
but just some of the stuff said in the English dub is hysterical.
Really, I need to go back and find this now because I watched the original when it was in its original language and it's just like now, yeah, I would love to revisit that and find it in a different way.
And the voice actor they used for the gay one, the gay
Hmm.
hair bar, perfect. Just it perfect.
That's wonderful. Now, have you seen Shaolin Soccer? Because I think that was the same person that
Yes,
directed it.
Stephen Chow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it too. Loved it.
So, what about music? What kind of music do you like?
Everything. I
Everything?
listen to everything.
Yeah.
It changes from day to day.
Yeah.
Uh, it's 90s. Next day, I'm listening to classical. Next day, I'm sitting there screaming along to death metal. It just It's whatever I'm in the mood for.
It's nice to know that you're screaming along to death metal as you're playing through Final Fantasy 14. I'll remember that.
Admittedly, I tend to deviate towards Disney music when I'm raiding.
Yeah. I'm,
So just picture I'm DPSing on Sophia while singing along to Let It Go.
yeah. Yeah. See, when I'm a healer, I would be singing Poor Unfortunate Soul because they're not going to get any heals. It's, it's kind of how it goes. Um, so we talked about that. Do you watch anything on like Netflix or TV or whatnot? Something doing while you're gathering and whatnot?
Uh, no, I
No.
don't gather or craft.
Aw. But what about Netflix? Anything fun?
Bob's Burgers right now.
Yeah.
Love Bob's Burgers. Love it. I've watched all of the Rick and Morty, going through Bob's Burgers again. They just put on a whole new wave of movies, so I just went through the new releases
Mm-hmm.
and went add to my list, add to my list, add to my list. So I've got a bit of a list to go through.
Yeah. Now, I have a theory, and I have to ask you this question. Um, you like Bob's Burgers. Do you also like Archer?
No.
Th- I I don't know what it is about that. Like there are people who love Bob's Burgers and they don't like Archer, and there are people who love Archer and they don't like Bob's Burgers. Because I'm an Archer person, and like I've just noticed this strange dynamic because John Benjamin he does the voice for both of them and he doesn't change it up at all. You know?
No. It's the
Sorry
type
about
of
that.
humor.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Where Bob's Burgers almost has a British humor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of the stuff that happens, and I am the biggest fan of British humor. So,
I apologize for that. Those dingings. It's probably more of those officers and escorts, those bastards sending me messages every single day. Because that's what they do. Interrupt everything. So,
oh my,
what's that?
oh my God.
Uh-huh. Um, is there anything that you really want that you feel like that nobody really knows about you, whether being an officer or being quote unquote enforcement? I guess that's what we call it. I don't know, like whatever. Volunteers, I think. Is there anything about you that you'd want people to know about that they probably otherwise don't know about?
Uh, I'm a fairly open book. Like, if
Yeah,
you have questions, ask.
yeah, yeah.
um, if it's a question about the game, if I don't have an answer, I'll put you in connect with someone who does.
Right.
Some people do know that I have an insane knowledge of just the Final Fantasy world.
Hmm.
I I know the entire walkthrough for many games. I know the tricks. I know just seriously, if you're playing one of the other Final Fantasies and you're like, oh my god, how can I make this easier? Ask. I probably know it.
Hmm. I saw that you had a cat earlier. What's the name of the cat?
Firefly.
Firefly.
Yeah.
Aw.
Uh, 7/8 Siamese. Doesn't shut up unless she's sleeping, like right now.
Aw.
Um, and wouldn't trade her for any other cat in the world.
Yeah. Just the one cat?
Just the one.
That's good.
Had a dog, but he passed away in October.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was 16 and a half.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
old timer, spoiled
Yeah.
rotten. Don't know any other dog that was allowed up on the couch and had 3 beds.
That's wow. That's amazing. I
Yeah, so
I had a cat. He was like 3 years old when I got him, and he lived with me for 18 years. So it was like, I mean, that cat was like almost 2021. It was crazy. Like, but they develop on you. Like they just become so much of your family. Like once you end up having pets and whatnot, it's really a connection. It's a really strong bond that a lot of people that don't have pets don't really realize, I guess.
Hmm. No, I completely agree that like, excuse me, they become part of your everyday.
Yeah, yeah, they
Just
do.
plain and they you come in the door and mine likes to greet me. Others, people's cats will sit on the cat tree and yell at them from a distance. Uh, they become part of the day, and they're just great to have.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. Well, thank you very much, Muggsy Mugetsu. Um, again, Mugetsu is one of the officers for Final Fantasy XIV, and we will be very interested in hearing feedback and whatnot from everybody. So you'll probably get some messages yourself, just to, you know, as
Ask
thanks or
away.
whatever. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So let us also know in the SC suggestion box if everybody likes this stuff, if you want to know more about people, and we'd be more than happy to record more of these things for you. So, all right. Well, thank you very much. We will talk to you
Thank
later.
you.
Yeah. Oh, there's a cat. Hi, Firefly. All right. Take care now.
Have a good one.